thank you, thank you. No, please, hold your applause. One more song, what say you?
Come on in.
Yeah? Oh,
Let me know
right
if you
then.
need anything, or take a seat by the fire, and I'll send someone over.
Finally.
Once was a hero named
Comfort and warmth of an inn. We made it. So it seems. Thank you for helping me outrun those bastards. Can't help but feel like I just left behind the best chance I have of tracking down other survivors, though. Oh well. Perhaps some mead will enlighten me on what to do next. Come on, I'll get around for us. You just can't let that go, huh? Don't you have bigger things to worry about than my stupid name? Come on. If you insist, I'll oblige, but I should warn you. Getting into that requires getting into... well, everything. And it will take a while to get through everything.
Nope, not going to answer that.
Okay then. I hope we can clear the air sometime.
Fine then. So, from a young age, probably a bit too young by any sane person's standards, I was a part of a traveling mercenary group known as the Band of the Raven. Don't laugh. I was adopted by them, sort of. A lot of surrogate fathers. I guess you could say I was raised by the proverbial wolf pack. They were stand-ins for the mother I lost when I was still too young to remember her. But Balmore apparently saw fit to raise a small farm village just outside of Bruma, suspected of partaking in the worship of a certain outlawed god. Spare me any religious interjection, though. I really couldn't care less. I don't know. I do know that she worshipped Kine, however. That's just one of a couple of things I know about her. The other being that she died. This amulet I wear was taken from her body and given to me. I used to chew on the leather when I was a kid. Obviously, I had to replace that, but the rest is authentic. She died, though. They found me stunned and alone among the corpses. Yes, believe it or not, I think our leader Jolie had a soft spot for me, honestly. Well, I guess it was an ill-advised joke at my expense. They had to toss me in a river to even determine what color I was, apparently. It was gore or red. Stupid, I know. But trust me, there were worse monikers in our ranks. Mostly orcs, truth be told. I assume so. Saw most of it myself, and it was ugly, to say the least. Our leader, Jolie, left camp in the middle of the night. Next thing we know, we're woken up by justiciars loudly decrying our crimes of worshipping a false god. I managed to slip away with a few others, to my shame. Pate led us across the border, then tried to ditch me with the rest. Fortunately for him, I'm a rather silent sleeper, and our resting place was well hidden. Pate is anything but quiet. Drew the patrols right to them. Commotion woke me. The rest is a blur, up till I felt that trap biting into my shin. And then I met you. Yes, they were cruel, but they were my family. Life was no kinder to me than it was to them in the end. I want answers. Jolie sold us out like it was nothing, and he is here in Skyrim. I'm sure of it. If we come across any trace of him, I can't. I won't ask you to accompany me. I will get those answers, though. Till then, I'm yours. I will. It's not your problem, nor is it your responsibility. I'm not deluded enough to believe either. We were a ragtag band of borderline bandits, picking at the scraps of glory left from a war I wasn't even alive to see. Mostly blades for hire that would tuck tail and run at the first sign of defeat. I'm not proud of them, but I will avenge their deaths. I'm not sure what else I could even do at this point. Not even sure how I survived this. Don't let me dampen the mood, though. I could use some meat and some warmth in my belly. That's what we're here for. And for the record, Blood, thank you. I mean it.
Need something?
Need something?
Alright. Shows milk drinkers what's good in life.
Finally!
You catch me alone
Oh,
in
my
the far
feet hurt
corner.
so bad.
Don't worry, I'm not brooding. I'm just keeping out of the line of the inevitable drunken brawl.
Aye.
What? Next.
So there really was a dragon? Wow. I mean, we should get the dragon stone as soon as possible. A dragon.
Wake up, dear. Yes, Mum.
Abandoned mares.
Why is the floor so sticky?
Ragnar the Red.
Is that wine or blood?
Mind if I join
Second
you?
thought, I don't want to know.
Cheese sounds good right now.
You want a drink?
Did you want to talk?
Now, please, no more questions.
Huh? Why? Oh, I can understand that. I guess you are right. Alright then, I will answer what I can. You okay? Though I cannot read, I can count. Sure, what is it? I was raised mainly in Cyrodiil, though I never stayed in any towns or cities for long. I never got to see many people. My life up till now was pretty much traveling and camping in the woods. To travel? You guessed right. I mean, I am traveling, but that is that. It is cold and a war is going on. No, I do not like it here, but I am getting used to it, I think. What about you? Are you from here?
This is an ode to Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Imperials.
Do you miss your home?
Drink to
Your
our
family?
youth, to days come and gone. For the age of aggression is just about done.
I am sorry. Perhaps one day you can return.
With our blood and our steel,
Oh,
we'll
okay.
take back
What is it?
our home.
And silence.
Down with
And silence.
the kings. On the day of your death, we will drink and we'll sing. We're the children of Skyrim.
Oh,
and we
okay.
fight all
What
our
is it?
lives. Sovngarde beckons, every one of us dies.
To be honest, I knew I would not last long here without
This
someone.
land is ours, and we'll see
I am not
by
good
the
alone.
gleam of the
I
sword
hate it.
that has
I
some
hate it so much.
send out.
I am trying to think of how to word this right. I heard about you,
This is a
and
local family
I
event.
knew that if I was better off traveling with someone, it was
Ragnar
you.
the Red.
So I waited, and
There once
luckily
was
you
a
came
hero
by
named
so
Ragnar
soon.
the Red who came
I am glad I am by
fight
your
the
side,
war
though.
extend.
Just so you know.
And the braggart did swagger and brandish his blade as he told of both battles and gold he had made.
It is.
Then he went quiet.
Well, deep talk is over, right?
He met the
Can we
shield
move
maiden
on now?
Matilda, who said,
What is it?
"Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all our mead. Now I
Adventure?
time that you lie
Hunting
down and
too.
read."
I like to try reading.
So then keep
Oh,
brushing and
wait,
slashing
no.
of steel as the brave
Braiding.
Matilda charged in
Have you ever tried braiding hair? It is so much fun.
The braggart named Ragnar
I know a lot of different kinds of braids. Like crown braids, Dominion War braids, cornrows, hidden braids, White River braids, just... Oh man, so many. I do not know what it is about it. I do always wished I had hair. Maybe because it keeps my mind on something and the hands busy. And they are pretty. Sure, what is it? It does not. Orcish. Why? Does it sound bad? Thanks. I think it does too. Sure.
This is a local favorite and one of the first songs I ever learned. Ragnar the Red. Oh, there once was a hero
Like I
named
said,
Ragnar the Red,
fighting,
riding
way
to
around the
fight
wilderness,
the
and
foes
bows.
instead.
If you're expecting me to attack a bandit head on, that is not happening. I find sneaking way easier. Take an enemy down when they are not expecting it.
But then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red, when he
Sure.
met the shield maiden Matilda, who said,
Okay,
"Oh, you talk and
Here
you
I
lie
am.
and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed." And so then came clashing and slashing of steel as the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal. And the braggart named Ragnar was boastful no more.
what?
His ugly red head rolled around
I
the
guess I will
floor.
take a look if you find one. Okay. Yep.
This is so exciting! We're off to explore a genuine Nordic ruin. There'll be so much to study, so much to record. What fun! So long as the place isn't full of zombies, of course. But then, what are the chances of that? And I'd like to answer. Oh, the Flaviuses are firmly rooted in the Imperial City. We've always had a strong sense of home. We're a tight-knit bunch, and we get on rather well most of the time. They worry, though, particularly about me. Gave them quite a shock when I told them about this expedition. Davidicus is his name. He's an academic like me, always up to his elbows in old scrolls. He does a lot of consultancy work for the Imperial government, hunts down relics for them, that sort of thing. I'd be lying if I said we always saw eye to eye, but I owe a lot to him, and he's very dear to me. Captain Lyra of the Imperial Legion. She and I couldn't be more different, but she's always supported me in everything I've done. She fought against the Thalmor in the Great War. In fact, she was there for Lord Narafin's defeat at the Battle of the Red Ring. She retired to marry my father and raise me. But despite her career, she never tried to force me onto the same path. By the time I was old enough to hold a book, it was clear I was going to follow my father into the academic world. And she was delighted for me. I write to her fairly regularly. My father too. And while she worries, I think she's proud of me for doing this. I hope so, anyway. None. I was the proverbial apple of my parents' proverbial eyes. And yes, they spoiled me rotten. Sometimes I wonder what it would have been like to have had a brother or a sister. But then I wouldn't be quite who I am today. So I can't complain. All right then.
Children of Skyrim, and we fight all our lives.
I'll be right behind you.
God beckons, every one of us dies.
Something on your mind?
But this land is ours, and we'll see it wiped clean of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and ours.
The defences here are worrying. There are no ramparts on the walls, and the surrounding land is too flat. It makes the strategic layout of the city all pointless. But vital if the city is to survive an attack. This country's at war. If not with itself, then soon again with the Thalmor.
Aye, all right. Aye? What about it? For fuck's sake.
Needs
Sorry, forget I said that. You alright? Ah, glad we're stopping. I was getting thirsty. I can't thank you enough. You look weary.
You know, I'm curious about you. Where are you from? You must miss your homeland at times. I hope the war hasn't made Skyrim too unwelcoming.
I'm intrigued. What were you getting up to before you rescued me? I enjoy camping in the woods myself, hunting for food and sitting by the fire at night, watching the stars. It's peaceful to be alone with only nature surrounding you.
Today's come and gone, for the age of aggression is just about done.
I'm not sure what you want to hear.
We'll drive out the
I've spent a long
storm
time
clouds and restore
wandering.
what we own.
This is where my
But
feet
in our
led me.
steel we will take back
Aye,
our home.
isn't there always? To own the truth, I've come back to Skyrim to learn something of my heritage, my bloodline. The few clues that I have pointed me here, but it takes time to decode. So, I'm paying my way by collecting bounties. No, not anymore. Perhaps I do have blood kin out there, but I've never known them. No, I have no voice of the Emperor, no dragon skin magic. I don't know the race of my mother. All I have is a hunch, but I need proof. You do that? I suppose I could use the help. The best clue I have is my sword, but I'm certain we can find out more in our travels.
I've got your back.
You're a talker, eh?
Something on your mind? Want to know why there are so few Khajiit here in Skyrim? They prefer it elsewhere. Of course you do. You're the inquisitive type. What's on your mind? That's a good question. For now, I need to keep a low profile. But eventually I'll have to move on. Since I can't necessarily return home, I could always travel. I've been wanting to visit Raven Rock, or even see those churning sands of elsewhere. The possibilities are endless, really. I wouldn't turn the offer down. Certainly wouldn't be as lonely with a friend at my side, or at least something pretty to look at. But I'm sure you have business to attend to here in Skyrim first. Let's focus on the present before we head towards the future, hmm? Of course you do. You're the inquisitive type. Curious about me, are you? I suppose I could share a bit of myself with you. What did you want to know? I was born in the capital of the Somerset Isles, Alinor. No doubt you've heard about the homeland of the Altmer. Buildings made of gloss, towers that challenge the sky above, designs that capture the colors and warmth of the sun. The home of the Altmeri people, the heart of the Dominion. My home. It was a bit of a shock to me when I first stepped onto Nord's soil. Whereas Alinor is warm and lush, this land is cold. Truth be told, I'm still trying to grasp this concept of snow. I've been stationed in Skyrim for about 3 years now. It is a difficult question. Somerset was beautiful, but the sun's rays were not enough to warm the cold and calloused souls of the people who basked in it. Everywhere you turn, there is an air of indifference to the beauty that surrounds the Altmer, who don't seem to recognize their own privilege to hold dominion over such a fertile paradise. This was no truer than in my own family. Despite my best efforts to please him, I often disappointed my father. On more than one occasion, he told me he would have preferred a daughter over the man I became, what with my apparent lack of strength or work ethic. After a while, I even began to resent my own body. Every day. And yet, I still miss the scenery. The lush landscapes, the sun, and the ocean never got old for me. In stark contrast, the bleak atmosphere here is a far cry from my homeland. But with it comes a sense of kinship. It's strange. This is truly a brutal and savage land. But in traces, I find more comfort and connection amongst the people here than I ever did in Somerset. Still, it is unfortunate that I can't return home for some of my belongings or my cats. But at least I have Burwale. And you? After escaping a home filled with gaudy treasures but no love to speak of, I'm quite content with the simplicity of life on the road. Even if the snow means I do have to snuggle close to someone I would otherwise never have thought to. But now you have me curious. What about you? Where are you from? I'm curious how you ended up here in Skyrim. But I'm sure that's a story for another time, yes? I won't push you to open up to me. But maybe someday, when you're more comfortable, we can revisit this conversation. Well, this has been fun, making myself emotionally vulnerable and now homesick. We should focus on something else for a while, wouldn't you agree? Say what you want about the Thalmor, but we do look fierce in our uniforms. Of course you do. You're the inquisitive type. What's on your mind? Oh, are we done talking? Good. So was I. Thanks for asking.
If you're ready, then I'm ready. Yeah? Only pretty sure I was smuggling goods, but I'm pretty certain a dragon came and unleashed oblivion on us. You find a lot of trouble, and I'm lousy at getting locals to hire me. Also, there's the part about you saving my life. I'll be right behind with some
This is an
wine.
ode to Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Imperials. We drink to our youth.
Hey, since we're traveling together, we're bound to get lost easily. Or you want me to wait somewhere. So, to make it easier to keep track of me, I've placed myself on your map. So, no matter where I am, you'll know where I am. I hope it helps you. We got some time. Why not? Ask away. Sorry, but I don't feel comfortable telling you that just yet. Maybe later. Have I answered everything, or is there something else you wanted to ask me? I don't have any skill with magic, but I might learn it one day. I'm sure you have more questions. Or maybe you don't. Why'd you ask such a question? If you must know, I was never raised by Argonian parents. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? I love my own kind. There's not much to say, really. Is there anything else you wanted to ask? So, this war paint. I don't think it's war paint. I think I was born with it. I've had it all my life. I can't get it off. Not sure if it's a curse or something. But still, it doesn't bother me. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? I don't know my actual age, but I'd say I'm either 20 or 22. Is there anything else you wanted to ask? Well, when you see this stone, let me know because I have no idea what you're talking about. That was a pleasant conversation.
How can I help? He's very serious, isn't he? I'm going to see if I can make him laugh. I will try my best to answer. Ifrei the storyteller, the god of song, the forest and the now. She taught the birds to sing and gave the rivers their tinkling ethereal tune. There is a story about Ifrei that my mother told me when I was very young. When we're somewhere safe, perhaps I could tell it to you. Ask away. We don't. Our homes aren't as much built as they're grown. The spinners sing to the trees, who coil their bark and leaves into cozy little pods. This is Ifrei's gift to us. Go ahead. With the amount of murdering you and I do on a daily basis, it gets difficult to honor that particular part of the mandate. But I make an effort to devour at least a part of every foe I slay, even if it's just the heart or the liver. I can only pray that pleases Ifrei. Ask away. Oh, you mean the mourning wars? Yes, what about it? If a clan member is killed during a battle between two tribes, the family members of the deceased may take a member of the enemy tribe hostage. The hostage is then tortured for a time, and if they survive, they are accepted into the family with open arms, replacing the one who was killed. Why? They become a beloved family member. They receive all the possessions and titles the deceased one had, and the family regains the beloved one. Well, I suppose you have a point. I don't know, it's just something we've always done. I can't imagine any different way to replace a family member. Yes, I suppose you're right. Thank you. You've given me much to think about.
The Riverwood Trader is everything you need in a general store. My sister Camilla or I will be happy. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Maybe you're looking for... yeah, we did have a bit of a break-in, but we still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing. An ornament, solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw. You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going to get those thieves, you should head to Bleak Falls Barrow, northwest of town.
What are you doing there?
Are you okay?
So this is your plan, Lucan?
A claw made of solid gold? How delightfully gaudy.
Oh,
I
really?
hate it.
Well, I think your new helper here needs a guide.
No, by the 8, fine, but only to the edge of town.
This way.
nice little town here.
Bandits will just hand
Those
the golden
thieves must
claw
be
over if we
mad
ask them
hiding out
nicely.
there. Those old crypts are filled with nothing but traps, trolls, and who knows what else.
Coconut. Well, when I saw Dawn back in Taliesin, I wasn't down for long. Healers are the only roads I walk.
Now ain't this a surprise?
Ha!
Do your worst! Ah! You bastard!
You've done well.
Got me by a lizard. A little lizard.
Here we are, Bleak Falls Barrow, home of the ancient lords, but more importantly, bandits who seem terribly eager to murder us. What fun!
Mine's playing tricks on.
You picked a bad time to get lost today.
All right, you've got it.
That's one for me.
Got blood on me.
Time to die.
I like to know you.
Violence solves everything.
Here they come. Nords are a stubborn breed, don't they? Even their corpses need to have the last word.
Not get in my way, Christopher.
Fall down and flee!
Show yourself.
Have to toss back.
All clear now.
Don't leave me for Arcade's sake.
Lucifer, remind me, how old are you?
Help me! Help!
Well, I don't recall you actually ever asking about my age, but I'm not too sure about my age. But I think I'm about 20 or 22.
For Arcade's sake.
Oh, divines. I don't know how to say this, but you see, there was this
What was that? Oh. My shadow.
rather drunk.
Help me!
What are you saying?
Give your father a hug.
Don't leave me for Arcade's sake.
No, never. I refuse to believe it.
Don't leave
This
me
is
for
another trick.
Arcade's sake.
Maybe you're right. You're certainly not strong enough to bear my blood.
Oh, I'm stronger, all right.
Get me down.
And the results are in. You are not my father.
Help me! Help!
You got
Help me! Help!
It's coming loose. I can feel it. You fool. We never should have come here.
charge right in.
Skillfully done.
Why, yes, my lad, it was. Didn't get brutally murdered once. Best not to think about it.
Watch out! We got some trouble!
Ha! We've done well.
This is okay. The bar is still here,
Piss out
so
of
we're
me.
not all okay.
Phew, that was quite the battle. Hello there. Would you awfully mind if I take a look? The Dragonstone, I mean.
That wasn't so hard. We got the Dragonstone.
Oh, thank you.
Let's get back to Dragonstone.
Yes, this is fascinating. Fascinating! It looks like a map of some description, and here, on the reverse, some kind of text. I'm uncertain of the language, but it looks old. Very old.
Let's
Perhaps
return to
Farengar can tell us
trader
more.
with the golden claw and get some gold.
All right, then.
Time for a little chat? We should keep moving.
How can I help? Yes, yes.
You okay? The first bow I ever got was a small hunting bow with the words "Little Lizard" carved into it. I miss that bow. Go on then.
Do take me somewhere interesting. Following until I see a boulder.
The sooner you find the claw, the sooner our lives... You're back from Bleak Fall. I'm gonna put this back where it belongs. I'll never forget this. You've done a great thing for me and my sister. What are you doing that for?
And that must be...
It's a shame, isn't it? This is the Gildergreen. It was planted as a seedling in the early years of Whiterun. Disciples of Kynareth could sense something holy in it, and traveled far to hear the winds of the goddess in its branches. They built the temple. Of course, not as many pilgrims these days. To the east of here is a hidden grove where the Eldergleam resides. It's the oldest living thing in Skyrim, maybe all of Tamriel. Our tree here in the city was grown from a cutting of that tree. You can still feel the glory of the mother tree through it. Even its name is an echo. I've thought about that. Trees like this never really die, they only slumber. I think if we had some of the sap from the parent tree, we could wake up. But even if you could get to the Eldergleam, you couldn't tap it. not with any normal metal. If you want to help, you'll need something to cut into it first. You'll have to deal with the hag ravens. I've heard about a weapon they've made for sacrificing Spriggans. It's called Nettlebane. The hags terrify me, or I would have gone after it myself. Your spirit is strong. Kinnereth's winds will guide your path. It's held in a hagraven nest called Orphan Rock.
If you need potions, you should try Arcadia's.
You see? The terminology is clearly First Era or even earlier. Ah, the Dragonstone of Bleak Falls Barrow. Seems you are a cut above the usual brutes the Jarl sends my way. That is where your job ends and mine begins. The work of the mind, sadly undervalued in Skyrim. My associate here will be pleased to see your handiwork. She discovered its location by means she has so far declined to share with me. So your information was correct after all. And we have our friend here to thank for recovering it for us.
You went into Bleak Falls Barrow and got that? Nice work. Just send me a copy when you decipher it.
Farengar, you need to come at once. A dragon's been sighted nearby.
A dragon?
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
Let's go.
So, Irileth tells me you came from the Western Watchtower?
Yes, my lord. Tell him what you told me about the dragon.
Oh, that's right. We saw it coming from the south. It was fast. Faster than anything I've ever seen.
What did it do? Is it attacking the Watchtower?
No, my lord. It was just circling overhead when I left. I never ran so fast in my life. I thought it would come after me, for sure.
Good work, son. We'll take it from here. Head down to the barracks for some food and rest. You've earned it. Irileth, we'd better gather some guardsmen and get down there.
I've already ordered my men to muster near the main gate.
Good. Don't fail me. There's no time to stand on ceremony, my friend. I need your help again. I want you to go with Irileth and help her fight this dragon. You survived Helgen, so you have more experience with dragons than anyone else here. But I haven't forgotten the service you did for me in retrieving the Dragonstone for Farengar. As a token of my esteem, I have instructed Avenici that you are now permitted to purchase property in the city. And please, accept this gift from my personal armory.
I should come along. I would very much like to see this dragon.
No, I can't afford to risk both of you.
The Gods and Dragons Reach, saying it aided the Jarl. On behalf of Whiterun, thank you.
Battleborn, give me your money.
I don't have any money.
You better give me 5 septims right now or I'm gonna bloody your nose.
No, please. I really don't have any money, Braith. I'll give you 10 septims tomorrow. Just don't hit me.
10 septims tomorrow.
Let's go kill a dragon then.
Because
Want
there's a
to know a
dragon
secret
attacking
of
it.
mine?
We don't
Cast
have to
oak
go
flesh
out.
before forging. That's how I've avoided calluses all these years.
Take pity, lady, and spare me a few
No signs of any dragon right now, but it sure looks like he's been here. I know it looks bad, but we've got to figure out what happened. And if that dragon is still skulking around. Spread out. Look for survivors. We need to know what.
No, get back. It's still here somewhere. Rocky and Todd just got grabbed when they tried to make a run for it. Let's save us. Here he comes again.
Here's the dragon. Let's take it down together.
Now comes my favorite part.
That overgrown lizard is really dead. Damn good shoot, boys.
What's happening?
Everybody, get back!
You must be dragonborn.
That was a tough fight. But at least we killed the dragons. Let's go take a closer look.
That was one monstrosity of a dragon.
Dead dragon.
Hey,
I can't believe it. You're dragonborn. In the very oldest tales, back from when there were still dragons in Skyrim, the dragonborn would slay. That's what you did, isn't it? Absorb the dragons. Yes, I think I am. You can shout now. That can only mean one thing. You must be dragonborn.
Dragonborn? What are you talking about?
That's right.
That really was a dragon. Those worms were supposed to be lost to the ages. And you took in its very life force. Such a thing can only be done by a dragonborn.
There weren't any dragons then, idiot. They're just coming back now for the first time in forever. But the old tales tell of the dragonborn who could kill dragons and steal the power.
That thing with the lights and the burning. Does that happen often?
Tell us, do you believe in this dragonborn business?
No, I don't suppose it would have done. Not a lot of dragons around. Traditionally, anyway. Listen, I hate to speculate, but do you think it could have been a soul? And you absorbed it? Remarkable. Truly remarkable. As was the beast, as terrifying as it may have been. It seems an awful waste just leaving it lying there like that. There's so much to be learned. How does it fly, for instance? A creature of that size, with that wingspan, it defies all known laws of motion. Perhaps there might be a clue in its bone structure. I don't know. Do you think you could get me a sample? I'll give you 100 septims for it. Oh, thank you. That really would help my research. I've been meaning to ask you something. Got a moment? Look, I know I'm not very good at practical things. You know, combat. I rely on you to win our battles, and I shouldn't. So I suppose I was wondering, do you think you could train me? Fantastic! Can't wait to get cracking. Sorry, I keep meaning to give you this, since this arrangement seems to be working out all right for us so far. Oh, it's a Dwemer resonance sphere. Just something my father gave to me before I left home for when I found myself someone to travel with. When activated, it resonates with its twin, which I'll always keep on my person. That way, if we're ever separated, all you have to do is give us a rub, and we'll be able to find each other, no matter how far apart we are. Handy, right? Don't mention it. I mean, hopefully we won't have to use it very often. I'll stick to you like oh, I don't know, something sticky. Yep, that's what I'll do.
Hey, is something wrong? Got it.
Yes? You know, you never ask me how I'm feeling. It's always about you, isn't it?
What is it? Sorry, I'll get out of your way. 1 second. What is it? What do you need to know?
We killed the dragon. Go team.
I don't know for certain, but the dragonborn is able to absorb a slain dragon's soul. But that's all I know. Maybe we should find... Was there anything else you wanted to ask? Let's go, dragonborn.
With allies like Lucifer, who needs enemies?
Beautiful day.
What in particular?
At your service.
Onward!
I've noticed that many people react badly when I tell them about my dietary habits, and yet they have no issues eating animals. I don't get it. What's the difference? Ephraim's blessings.
Good. You're finally here. The Jarl's been waiting for you.
So what happened at the watchtower? Was the dragon there? I knew I could count on Irileth, but there must be more to it than that. So it's true. The Greybeards really were summoning you. Masters of the Way of the Voice. They live in seclusion, high on the slopes of the throat of the world. The Dragonborn is said to be uniquely gifted in the voice, the ability to focus your vital essence into a thum, or shout. If you really are Dragonborn, they can teach you how to use your gift. The Greybeards.
Didn't you hear the thundering sound as you returned to Whiterun? That was the voice of the Greybeards, summoning you to High Hrothgar. This hasn't happened in centuries, at least. Not since Tibeseptim himself was summoned when he was still Talos of Atmora.
Hrongar, calm yourself. What does any of this Nord nonsense have to do with our friend here? Capable as she may be, I don't see any signs of her being this, Dragonborn.
Nord nonsense? Why, you puffed up ignorant. These are our sacred traditions that go back to the founding of the First Empire.
Hrongar, don't be so hard on Avenici.
I meant no disrespect, of course. It's just that, what do these Greybeards want with her?
That's the Greybeards' business, not ours. Whatever happened when you killed that dragon, it revealed something in you, and the Greybeards heard it. If they think you're Dragonborn, who are we to argue? You'd better get up to High Hrothgar immediately. There's no refusing the summons of the Greybeards. It's a tremendous honor. I envy you, you know? To climb the 7,000 steps again. I made the pilgrimage once. Did you know that? High Hrothgar is a very peaceful place. Very disconnected from the troubles of this world. I wonder that the Greybeards even notice what's going on down here. They haven't seemed to care before. No matter. Go to High Hrothgar. Learn what the Greybeards can teach you. You've done a great service for me and my city, Dragonborn. By my right as Jarl, I name you Thane of... I assign you Lydia as a personal housecarl. I'll also notify my guards of your new title. Wouldn't want them to think you're part of the common rabble, now would we? We are honored to have you as Thane of our city, Dragonborn. Back to business, Proventus. We still have a city to defend.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah? I have never learned to read, so these past few months I have been trying to teach myself. It is really tough, though. We should keep going.
The Greybeards are masters of the Thu'um. I don't doubt they'll have the answers to the questions you must have. I knew there was something different about you. You have a strange energy in your voice, and in your eyes, I can see fire. I am sure in time we will find out why. Well now, if we head over Whiterun Way, I know some people, good people, that might be worth checking in with. I seem to remember they always had the inside track on bounties. Now that you mention it, there is. I haven't been that way in going on 10 years now. But if we're over Orkstead way, there's someone I'd like to check in on. A childhood mate of mine. Be nice to see how he's doing if we have the time. Aye, there's a few places I've found to be not really worth visiting. Falkreath's one. Nothing much of an interest there. Dawnstar's another. That place is fucking cold. And I don't just mean the weather.
My lord, since Ulfric's Stormcloak's uprising, the cost of goods has doubled.
So, when were you going to tell me that you were Dragonborn?
I can scarcely afford to pay the guards.
Well, at least it wasn't an embarrassing first time for you. Look at how things turned out. You killed a dragon, you have a new power bestowed onto you, and you've been given the title of Thane. Looks like today really is your day. So, what's next on the agenda, No, I meant what are we going to do with Lydia? She's not coming with us, is she? I won't argue with your decision. I will, however, judge you for it. Silently. At a distance. I know better than to bite the hand that could easily behead me. But remember, three's a crowd. Anyway, our next destination is High Hrothgar then? Let's purchase a few apples from Carlotta and be on our way. The sooner we leave Whiterun, the better. I think Nazim is eyeing me, and it's giving me all sorts of mixed feelings.
What's on your mind? Ah, you're convinced that that's what you are, then? It's true, the evidence does seem to suggest that. But I think a certain degree of skepticism is in order. Tests, not superstition. That's how we'll find out exactly what you are. Anyway, you asked me what I know. I'm more familiar with the Cyrodiilic legends than the Nordic ones, but I'll tell you what I've read. Though some scholars on Solstheim dispute it, the first definite use of the term Dragonborn is attributed to Saint Alessia, back in the First Era. The story goes that on her deathbed, Alessia made a pact with Akatosh, who infused her with his divine blood and granted her the Amulet of Kings. Akatosh then sealed off the Plains of Oblivion, banishing the Aedra and Daedra from the surface of Nirn forevermore. Or at least, for as long as one of Alessia's descendants sat on the throne of Cyrodiil and wore the amulet. From then on, Alessia's descendants were known as Dragonborn. Of course, that line ended with the death of Martin Septim during the Oblivion Crisis. But he turned into a giant dragon and kicked Mehrunes Dagon back into the Deadlands, which seems to have confused things. Anyway, skip ahead a couple of hundred years and here you are, supposedly with that same dragon blood in your veins. The somewhat primitive Nordic myths claim that lets you absorb the soul of a dragon, which we've both seen you do, and channel it into a shout. But as far as I'm aware, no one ever saw any of the dragonborn emperors do that. Maybe you're related to them. Maybe the gods just like you. In any case, as I said, I have a feeling we'll find out more soon enough. Let's go.
What's up? I don't know. Can you? Feel free to ask me if you have any more questions.
Lutecer. How about you, suffer? Now that would be hard to work into a sentence. So,
let's go,
we're
Dragonborn.
all ready to go?
I was just thinking that I like the way you wear your hair. I know. It's a little weird. Gotcha.
Ah, you're the Thane of Whiterun now. Congratulations. I wish I could be a Thane.
You poor soul. What vile danger turned you into an Argonian?
What?
Your voice?
I wasn't raised by Argonian, so I don't have the accent.
Oh, I thought that awful rasp was something you were all just born with.
I thought all creatures were born with a brain. Try and prove me wrong. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Hold on.
At this rate, I can't tell if you're trying to make the point for me.
So, you're a Thane now then?
Well,
does that mean I have to address you as my lord? I'm not sure I could keep a straight face.
The Jarl has appointed me to be your housecarl. It's an honor to serve you. The title of Thane is an honor, a gift for your service.
How are you doing? You have. Thank you so much. An actual dragon bone. I'll get a lot out of studying this. Oh, here's your gold, my friend. Let's go.
Violence solves everything. That's one for me.
Are you enchanting things without me? I'm hurt.
So, Kaidan, do you have any hobbies other than brooding?
Want to know a secret of
being
mine?
tall?
Cast oak flesh before
I
forging.
do not brood.
That's how I've avoided
No?
calluses all these years.
What is that thing you do when you stare wistfully into the distance? The wind tousling your hair?
Do you have any other hobbies other than being noisy and obnoxious?
Touché, my friend, touché.
That's it. That's an Elby.
Oh, God. Oh, that night was covered in wet hag feathers.
Hello? You! Much better. Thanks, friend. I wouldn't have lasted much longer without that. Name's Valder. We tracked a Spriggan. But now what? I can't just walk away. You'd really...
Very territorial. Doesn't end well for Morse to encounter them unawares. To lose his whole hunting party. Poor fucking bastard.
Well done.
Get up.
No? We really won that.
I got blood. This place reminds me of the time a Bosmer once called me a salad eater. It wasn't what he said, but how he said it that really irked me.
At your service. Gotcha. This place... It reminds me of my home within one of the great grottos. The light would slip through the cracks between the branches. Like here. We used to lie on a bed of moss and watch the starlight. My young sister and I. I'm not ready to do that yet.
Something about Spriggans bending the will of the local wildlife is unsettling.
I approve of your choice of attire. Gotcha.
Yeah? You know what I think would be cool to learn? Map making. I do not know, it just sounds neat. Are we done talking?
What can I do for you? My wisdom is yours to siphon as you will. Now that you mention it, I suppose there is. Somewhere here in Skyrim, there's a Dwemer ruin called Doomsbethar. I came across a text referring to it in my last few months at the Arcane University. Dwemerus is a fiddly language. Often the same words can have multiple meanings, but I'm fairly sure it translates loosely to bound ghosts. It piqued my curiosity. The use of soul gems in Dwemer automatons is well documented, but no one really knows much about their purpose or function. I thought perhaps this place of bound ghosts might be something to do with that. So I did some more research, but I just can't find the location. My father's looking into it for me while I'm here on my expedition. If he finds anything, he's going to let me know. Bye for now.
Everything all right?
I don't know them all that personal. I just know they were good to have at your back in a fight, and wicked clever at sniffing out a trail. Why? I just finished a bounty with them over near that shithole of a hole at Falkreath. I had a few too many ales celebrating with them after that, and lost a fair bit of coin in the cards as well. I decided to camp by the water and sleep off the ale when the fucking Thalmor ambushed me. How are you doing?
Ragnar was boastful no more when his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
I know of them. Alright. What do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question?
They are an important part of the balance.
Oh, come on. A relief that didn't fall flat.
Hey? Nothing really.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know you're quick to trust anyone you meet and eager to please those around you. I also find you not to be the sharpest arrow in the quiver, if you catch my meaning. No offense. Oh, that. Right, yes. Well, the legend of the dragonborn isn't discussed in Altmeri culture. It's really more of a Nord thing. Mind you, that didn't stop me from reading about it. I'm quite the bookworm. There's also a song, but I doubt you'd want me to sing it for you. Perhaps another time. Maybe then I'll even cook you a meal and serenade you under the pale beams of a guiltless moon. Now then. From what I've read, the Dragonborn could be a very controversial figure in the eyes of a Thalmor. Mostly with the rumors that you are the one the Blades have been waiting for all these long, long years. The Thalmor don't take kindly to Nord prophecies and such. Mostly baseless theories and predictions about you saving the world, blah, blah, blah. Not particularly riveting reading material, if I'm to be honest. But from what I could gather, the people of Skyrim see the Dragonborn as the archetype of the true Nord. Something all Nords should strive to be. After accompanying you for some time, I find that notion rather amusing. I bet they're really loving you right now. Oh, relax. You'll have me by your side. Look, I know my past might have cast a shadow on me in your eyes. I certainly wasn't the paragon of morality. But I swear I'm a changed mer. Besides, you're forgetting my greatest asset. I'll help you look fabulous. That is, if you would only let me spruce up your wardrobe a bit. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Loot. Loot, sir. How about you, suffer? Now that would be hard to work into a sentence. I'm willing to leave.
It's done then. Justice, if you can call it that. Look, I want you to have... Auri gave me this dagger when we... I'll give them a proper burial, then head back. Come find me if you're ever in Falkreath. You'll always be welcome at my door.
What is it? What has happened to the Gildergreen? I have traveled long here to worship beneath its branches.
It was taken by a lightning strike. Wish I had time to deal with it, but it's hard enough with all these wounded from the war.
And fear
Don't just let it stay like this. It's disgraceful.
Wise words to live by.
I really don't have time to deal with you right now. Just let me get back to my work.
But this is supposed to be your work.
I can't bear it. Make it stop.
The fever.
It's lovely.
Got a wicked hangover.
Well, aside from all the suffering individuals...
Why is the sun so bright?
Are you here to seek the blessings of Kinneret?
Well, no. Not today, anyway.
You don't worship the divines?
I honor them, aye. But I don't seek their blessings. The man should be brave enough to make his own way in the world without relying on help from the fucking gods.
You seem like a stranger in these lands. Perhaps you're not familiar with the law of Kinneret?
I was raised as a Nord. I know the stories. My guardian prayed to kings sometimes. And when we were travelling and sleeping under the stars, when the rain would fall, he would tell me how it was the tears of Keen, weeping the loss of her beloved husband.
Yes, she's known by many names. I understand you will not ask for her blessing, but I will say a prayer anyway for you and your companion, to bid you well on
Is
your
everything
journeys.
okay?
Thank you. I appreciate the gesture.
So, have you gotten Nettlebane? Take a look. Oh, well, I honestly didn't expect you to come back. Of course, I'm glad you did. Now, I don't really want to touch that thing, though. Do you think you could handle the next steps? Eldergleam Sanctuary Grove is to the east of here. You can use Nettlebane to retrieve some of its sap.
Sorry.
May Kinnereth's winds blow you to fortune.
Was I correct in hearing that you were traveling to the Grove of the Eldergleam? I am a traveler, a pilgrim. I follow the voice of Kinnereth wherever it can be heard. I've dreamed of seeing Eldergleam for years. Might I travel alongside you? I promise not to get in the way. I thank you for... Was I correct in hearing that you were traveling to the Grove of the Eldergleam?
Pain is so great.
What's next?
All right then.
Alright, sure.
This isn't a good time.
Do you have the Elder Gleam sap?